Hey guys, so today we are going to be doing a full day wear test of the new By Terry Hyaluronic Hydra-Concealer. I am so excited for this. I was sent these from By Terry. They sent me shades 100 Fair and 200 Natural. I think both of these may work like in different areas. So anyway, we'll be playing around with both of these. I'll swatch both of these for you. And I just wanted to mention my background. It's a little bit different. I'm going to be doing a perfume collection video soon. I don't know. That may actually go up before this video. We'll see. We'll see. If it hasn't gone up already, keep an eye out for it if you are interested. But I've developed quite a perfume collection, which I was kind of unaware of. Anyway, many of you have asked for it, so that's coming up soon. But let's jump into this concealer. So, I was, as I was getting ready today, I was trying to figure out like, okay, how did I want to use this concealer? How did I want to, what did I want to pair it with? And I do have one of my favorite foundations, which is the By Terry Terribly Denseless foundation. This is in the shade 3 Vanilla Beige. And then I kind of just kept thinking like, well, I love my Douceur Forever Skin Correct Concealer because I can use that as concealer normally. It just has such a great texture. Or I can use it alone, like in lieu of foundation. And I thought, I kind of want to see if this concealer can do that as well because it's supposed to have a very creamy, lightweight texture. And because I have two shades, like I think 100 Fair may work really well around my eyes and 200 may work really well on my face, that maybe we could give it a shot, but maybe it'll just kind of depend on the shade match. So anyway, let's just get started. This is what the packaging looks like. It's like a pretty sizable tube here. It's got the clicky pen action, and then there is like a really nice like flat brush tip. I really like the size of this. Those longer, skinnier ones, I always feel like I apply it, but it's not enough brush for me to actually spread it around. So I really like the looks of this, but I do just want to hold it up next to another concealer. Here it is next to their Terribly Denseless concealer, so you can see the size difference. So it's thicker and longer. And then here it is next to the YSL Touche Éclat, which is actually something that Terry, the woman behind By Terry, developed. She used to be the director behind YSL Beauty, and she created this product. Anyway, that is like a size difference between the tube and the brush. So this does retail for $45. And I'm going to start with 100 Fair. I'm just going to start clicking because sometimes it takes a while. Oh, or it doesn't at all. You know how usually sometimes it takes like 5,000 clicks? Nope, that just took one. So here is shade 100 Fair. That is amazing. It literally takes 2 pumps to get the product going. I'm so impressed. So impressed. And then there is 200. Oh, interesting. I feel like 200 looks lighter than 100. Yeah, here is 200 and here is 100. 100 looks a little bit warmer and then 200 looks a little bit peachier. This looks a little bit more yellow. This looks a little bit more peach. I turned down the exposure, so hopefully these swatches will look a little bit more clear. But again, this one is 200 and this one is 100. I think actually I'm gonna go with 200 for underneath my eyes because it's a little peachier and I like that a little bit more than ones that lean like a little bit more yellow. And I'm just gonna swipe underneath one eye. Ooh, it's so creamy. Wow, really lovely texture. Blends in very quickly. So here's one light layer, here's bare skin, nothing. And I just have my skincare down, nothing else. I feel like obviously there's coverage. I'm trying to figure out how much, maybe light medium coverage. God, it is invisible though. That is a good shade match for underneath my eyes. I'm just going to swipe a little bit more on. I want to see if I can build this up a little bit. I think the answer is yes. I can definitely build that up. I'm going to spread it all around my eye area. All right, so here we've got 2 layers on, and again, bare skin. I like the coverage. It definitely covered up my discoloration. I don't think it looks cakey or thick at all. The texture of this is really, Really lovely. I'm just going to take a very close look here and see how it's sitting. Really, really nice. Not only is it not emphasizing my lines or anything underneath my eyes, I feel like it's doing a nice kind of plumping effect. Yeah, that is quite lovely. And this shade on me, I think does like just enough brightening. It's not too much. I feel like, you know, in the way that I want to use it, if I want to forego foundation, I think this is actually great. Okay, I'm going to use the other shade, number 100, which was the one that was like a little bit more of like a yellow based tone. I am going to use that just on the parts of my face, maybe around my nose or whatever, and along my jawline here, where I feel like I need a little bit of extra coverage, a little bit of extra help. Because again, I want to see if I can use this alone without foundation, much like my Douceur Forever concealer. That one, just FYI, that texture is even creamier than this one. This one's a little bit more lightweight. So I'm going to take number 100 and just swipe some here and around my nose. All right, so there is 100 applied. So 100 I just put around my nose, I put along my jawline, I put 200 around my eyes. And I kept it to this side of my face because I wanted to compare it to my bare skin, at least show you guys what it looks like in comparison, and we can kind of tell what kind of coverage it has. I think it blends in really nicely. I'm wondering if maybe I could go like one shade up to maybe, I don't know if it just goes to 300. Yeah, 300 medium fair. I wonder if I should try that one for my face. I mean, I think it does actually work. I'm just thinking of the summertime. Anyway, this is 100 on my face, 200 around my eyes. But here is my face concealed. And here is my bare skin. Oh, wow. There is quite a difference. I have all of these kind of like hyperpigmentation, blotchy. Wow, it's really blotchy today. Really blotchy skin over here and my sunspots there. My skin looks much more evened out, which is great. All right, let me go ahead and apply it to this side of my face so we can see it all over. Again, I'm gonna put the 200 down around my eyes here. The texture really is so smooth and silky. And then I'm going to take 100 again. Wow, my skin is looking really blotchy today. All right, there it is, all over. I just kind of skipped my forehead. My forehead is, well, it's much deeper than the rest of my face, so I don't think either of these shades would really work. All right, so since we are doing a wear test, what I'm going to do is actually powder one eye. So I'm going to powder my right eye, and I've got my By Terry Hyaluronic Hydra powder in one rosy light. I really like pressing this into my under eye area. It really just sets it down. It definitely does like a good job mattifying if that's what you like. And yeah, I'm just going to do it to my right eye. We'll leave my left eye alone. We're just going to do this for testing purposes. I'm going to take some of the powder onto my finger here and just press it in. This is how I like to use this Hydra powder. Otherwise, I find it can look a little too drying on my skin. So if I just take a little bit and press it in, it works nicely. And then for down here, I have the Hydra powder in 200 natural. So I'm just gonna take the smallest amount of this 200 with my Sonia G Face Pro brush. Just pick up the slightest amount and just dab it on top of this area where I applied the concealer. And that's it. So again, I'm just powdering this side, I'm leaving this side unpowdered, and we'll see if there's any difference. I'm really hoping there isn't. I really like having the option of just not powdering, again, because my skin is so dry, and yeah, if I don't have to powder, That's sort of my preference at this point. All right, so I'm just gonna apply some light makeup, and I'll come back before I get on with the rest of my day so we can just kind of do like a quick check-in. All right, so makeup is applied. I just have, you know, a light amount on. I'll have all of the products that I have on my face listed down below in the description box. So I just wanted to hop back on here before I went on with my day to do one more quick check-in. And I feel like this side that I didn't powder, I feel like it looks like it's doing something right here. I don't see that on this side at all. This side looks really, really smooth. So I'm wondering if I need to powder this down, but for the wear test, I'm just gonna leave it. We'll make an assessment later on at the end of the day, but everything else looks good. I'm kind of focusing on my under eyes here. Yeah, everything looks good. You know, if I had to pick a side, I do like the side that I press that powder into, but right now they both look fine. So I'm gonna go about the rest of my day, and I'm gonna do a check-in and then a final check-in like I normally do. I'm definitely gonna try and do a check-in in natural light. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Hey guys, I am in my car, so I thought I would do a quick check-in here in natural daylight, and I was just kind of inspecting up close in the little mirror here, and under my eyes looks good. I feel like the side that I powdered, which is this side, I feel like it's staying better than the side without, which makes total sense. So this side, I feel like with no powder, I feel like it's just fading a little bit more. Like I feel like, you know, you can see a little bit more of my true skin on this side, and this side looks like it's a little bit better concealed. I hope you guys can see that. It's always so hard in this tricky natural lighting. I do feel like down here as well, not much has changed since I first put it on. So I think it looks fine over here where I powdered. And then this side, I feel like it really could use some powder. I feel like it looks like it's separating a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see that. Here's like my texture here, and I feel like it's just kind of like, I don't know, like sitting on it strangely, but this side is fine. And then around my nose, I feel, well, I have to say, I've been blowing my nose a lot today for some reason. I think we have allergies here in February. Still getting used to the Las Vegas schedule, but I feel like I have a little bit of a runny nose, whatever it is, and so I've been blowing my nose quite a bit. So I do feel like it has faded on both sides pretty equally, even though I powdered on this side and didn't powder on this side. But under the eyes, it looks great. You know, like I said, it's not like emphasizing lines or anything, just looks better once I powdered it. So that is it. Oh, I should mention, it is, what time is it? Hold on. It is 12:07. So I put this on at about 6 o'clock this morning. I had to get an early start. So it's been about 6 hours since I've had this on, and it'll probably be another 5 hours until I can come back and film my final check-in. But let's take a look at what this looks like at the end of the day. Hey, it is 7:30 in the evening. So this is actually probably one of the longest wear tests I've ever done. 13 and a half hours later, we're gonna check out my eye situation. But let me start actually with this whole situation. So this is the side of my face that I powdered, and I do still like the way this side of my face looks more than this side of my face, where I kind of added some of the concealer here to use in lieu of foundation. And yeah, it just hasn't changed all day. It's not like it's settled in and kind of like melded with my skin a little bit better. I just feel like you can see the texture on my skin, and it's actually emphasizing some pores here. It just looks a little bit funky, but it's been looking funky all day. It's not like it's kind of just on this. And this side looks a lot nicer. So I do feel like powdering really, really helps if you are going to use this concealer on your face. I want to say all of the concealer around my nose is pretty much gone. I've been blowing my nose all day. Like I mentioned in my first check-in, you know, my nose has just been running. I don't know if there's allergies or I don't know what's going on, but my nose has definitely been running all day, and I've been blowing it, and the concealer is pretty much gone from around my nose. In terms of my eye area, I am very impressed with the side, again, that I powdered. I think it looks really nice. I feel like I see like a little bit of fading after 13 and a half hours. I'm not really surprised, and I have been running a ton of errands today. Today actually ended up being a lot busier than I thought it was going to be. So I'm not surprised that I see like a little bit of fading, but what is notable is that I feel like the fading is even. It's not fading in a really like piss poor way, you know, it just looks like it's faded. It's fading very, very gracefully. And I do feel like, again, this is the side that I powdered, so I do feel like it has lasted a little bit longer on this side. I do feel like it's faded a little bit, but this side has faded more. But I do feel like this side looks a little bit drier than this side. But I do feel like the concealer is pretty much worn away on this side. I see a little bit of it left, but I feel like this whole like outer corner is pretty much worn away. So I think if you're looking for longevity, I would just put a little powder down. And when I say that this side looks a little bit drier than this side, I mean just a little bit. And I don't even think this side looks especially dry. It just looks drier than this side where I had no powder, and I do feel like the concealer has pretty much worn away. Like this entire outer corner I feel like is missing concealer, but it doesn't look bad. It has not, either side has not worn away poorly. So I'm going to just zoom in here just so you guys can take a close look at everything. I do want to point out I am wearing one of the eyeshadows from the By Terry VIP Expert Palette, the latest one. This is number 3, Paris Mon Amour, and it looks great on my lid still. I didn't put a lot on. I kind of wanted to keep it light or whatever, and it looks really great on the lid. So anyway, just wanted to point it out. And all the rest of my makeup actually looks great too, like the Chanel blush and highlighter duo that I used has stayed on really nicely. But anyway, here's a close look at my jawline area, and I'm hoping you can see like the strange texture that it's kind of left here on my jawline, and how it looks much better on this side, the side that I powdered. So all in all, I want to say I will be using this concealer definitely around my eyes. I think it definitely wears very, very nicely. I don't generally wear makeup for this long, for 13.5 hours. So I do think it wore very nicely around my eyes, and I think I definitely will be using this for my eye area. I don't think I'm going to be using it for my face. When I first started this wear test, I mentioned that I was kind of hoping, because of the description of this and because of how it felt, I was kind of hoping that it was going to be like a nice option to the Douceur Forever Skin Correct Concealer, I think is the full name. But the one that I love, you guys know how much I love it and how I can wear that all over my face in lieu of foundation. I don't think I can do that with this concealer. The Douceur definitely beats this one out in terms of like putting it all over. That one has a creamier texture. It also has a teensy bit more coverage, I want to say. The coverage for this concealer is really nice because you can build it up. But I did have to build it up, where the Douceur kind of right out of the gate has like some pretty decent coverage. I don't feel like I need to layer that one up too much. This one actually reminds me a little bit more of the Chanel Longwear concealer. I feel like it has a very similar texture. It has a very similar kind of wear. It kind of behaves very similarly to that one. And then some of my other like favorite concealers, like the Macrame Actives that I've been using, that one has like a lighter coverage. The other By Terry one has a lighter coverage. The Clinique Even Better concealer, that one has much higher coverage than this one, and it's also, the texture is a little bit creamier, it's a little bit thicker. So, you know, if you want like more coverage, I would go for the Clinique, I would go with the Douceur, I would go with like Pat McGrath. All of those have much more coverage than this one. This one's like a little bit more natural. It's buildable, but it still is like just a little bit more natural than those. So I do like this concealer. I will only be using it around my eyes. So that's it for this wear test. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Please let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.